Hey, it's Tourism Tim here with a very special episode of Tourism Marketing TV. In this three-part series, I'm going to show you absolutely how in 2012 you could double your prospects, double your sales, while lowering the time that you spend marketing and your costs. Stay tuned. It's Tourism Tim and I'm back. A moment ago I made a pretty bold promise to you about the concept of actually doubling your inquiries and prospects and sales and arrivals in 2012, and I'm sure a lot of you are going, yeah, right, that's not my experience, Tim. I'm struggling. I understand. I can really relate. I want you to know that on the other side of the equation, unfortunately, there's too many people who struggle and worse, fail to realize their tourism dreams because they're not doing some of the most basic, important marketing that you can do, and that's online. And how you do it makes a huge difference between doubling your sales and struggling or failing. So here's three really important questions I want you to listen to and see how much of these can you relate to. And I'm going to look at my notes periodically because I want to make sure that I ask these questions properly, because these are questions I've heard from you. Number one, listen carefully. These are emails that I get. These are comments that I get. This is what you've told me, and this is part of what I call the field of dreams of tourism marketing. Number one, wow, Tim, if I could just get some more traffic, if I could just increase my ranking to my website, I just know that I would absolutely get more inquiries and sales. That's number one. Can you relate to that one? Number two, if I put up a website, and I run great trips, if I just put up a website, so then other tour operators and other travel agents are going to see that I run these great trips, and they're absolutely going to want to come and bring their groups to me or represent me, especially if I'm pursuing a foreign market. Can you relate to that one? How about this one? Shit, I have spent a ton of money and a ton of time on my website, but yet my inquiries, I don't get hardly any inquiries, I don't get any sales, and I'm just not making enough to survive here, and I don't know what to do. Pretty distressing, isn't it? I bet you can relate to one of those three. Or, maybe, you've won a combination of all the above. You've run great trips, you've put up a website, you've spent a ton of money, and your online marketing is underperforming. Or, maybe you're getting some business, but you know that there could be a lot more. It's true, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, I want you to look at some of the core reasons why you may be struggling or failing, or why you're underperforming. So can you relate to any of those questions? Some of that frustration? Do you remember the series that I did just recently with Michael Zettergren with Adventure Lovers in Sweden? And we did a website analysis, and we went through and we looked at one component that when he shifted it is going to make a big difference in his website retention and his page views, and more importantly, his prospect inquiries or sales. The reality is that over 90%, well over 90% of all travel is now researched online. I'm going to keep reiterating this because I'm a big believer of what's going to give you the biggest bang for the buck, the fastest and the easiest. And here's the reality is, if you're not online and online strong in the ways that work, that drive traffic and turn those strangers into friends, into customers, you're not even in the game. So what we did with Michael is to look at his challenges and his struggles and what you can do about it. And the reason I did that, and the reason I'm talking with you today, and I'm going to show you some very specific ways of how you can change this, is to stop the struggle. I hear it way too often, and it's not necessary, and it pains me. I know you can succeed. I know you can increase your inquiries, your bottom lines, your relationships with other tour operators and travel agents. But I also know that if you continue doing what you're doing, chances are you're going to get more of the same. And that was Albert Einstein's definition of insanity. And I know that you're not insane, and I know that what works to consume, to get the consumers to change their mind, to get them thinking about you. So here's what we want to look at first. The reason I understand your struggles, your pains, and your frustrations so well is exactly what my brother Kevin and I underwent when we started our tourism business down in Mexico. You know, if you don't know my story, you know, this is real life. Two brothers pursuing their passion. We loved to surf, we loved adventure, we lived near Baja, and it unfolded that we were going to start this surfing tour business, doing what we loved, and we were sure that everyone, of course, was going to want to do this because we're flying people into the coolest breaks in the world, and no one was doing it. And we had a lot of passion. We did have a unique offering, but we didn't know much about tourism marketing, and you know, we didn't have a lot of money. We're starting in a foreign country. We didn't have any relationships, and although we'd been involved with other businesses, we had never been involved with tourism. And we struggled. And it was out of that struggle and looking at, well, why are we struggling when these guys over here are doing well? What made the difference? And that was my quest. That's what started over 20 years ago, me looking at closely what made the difference between struggle and success. And so over almost the last 18 years that I've been exclusively a business and marketing consultant and trainer and teacher to people just like you, and helping figure out and apply this proven principles, I've learned so much, and more importantly, I've been able to help so many people just like you. But it took our own struggle and eventually turning around our business to now becoming one of the top ecotourism destinations in Baja and perhaps all of Mexico. And my brother owning all this beachfront property and truly living the life that he dreamed of. You know, he just loves what he does, and more importantly, our guests really love it too. And it was out of that knowledge and our challenges and our successes which enables me to help you. And I am constantly a student. I am constantly looking at what works and what doesn't. So here's my challenge and my question to you is, if you're really ready to make a difference in your business, if you're willing to take the actions, learn the steps, then I will show you exactly how you can make your website and all your marketing far more effective, spend less time doing it, and make a lot more money in all of your marketing so that you can pursue that dream. I know why you're in this business. I know what it is that you're wanting to achieve as far as lifestyle and so you don't have to work in an office and you can do something you love. I understand. It's exactly what drove Kevin and I to do our business and exactly the experience I've had working with hundreds, no thousands of tourism professionals and directly and indirectly over these almost 20 years. So first thing we're going to look at is if all the action is online, if that's where everybody's looking to decide where they're going to go, who they're going to go with, how long they're going to stay, what kind of travel, and all these questions, shouldn't you have a strong presence and more importantly, online? And when they get to your website, a website that people look, they spend time at, they look at a lot of pages, they read what you wrote, they look at your pictures, they watch your videos, and they go, wow, that's exactly what I've been dreaming of. Wow, that looks exciting. Wow, I'd like to know more about that company or that destination or that hotel or that tour guide or the travel agent. It's all the same. Today what I'm going to show you is 3 specific things that impact your tourism marketing, especially online. And it's number 1 is that the time-challenged consumer. People are in a big hurry. They're looking for something that's and they want it fast. Number 2 is that when they get to your website, or it could be your trade show booth or your ad, is that it's not crystal clear what it is you do, where you do it, and why they should choose you. It's really, really important. And 3, I'm going to give you a snapshot of some of these tools and strategies and how you can really double your sales in 2012. So those are the 3 things that we're going to look at. So what I want to start off with first is we're going to look at Google Analytics. And Google Analytics is the most awesome free tool that you should have on your website. If you don't, you need to get this right away. Go to type in Google and do a search for analytics, and you can sign up for free. And it gives you this great little piece of code that you can give to your webmaster, and they can drop into your website. And in a bottom line, it allows you a behind the doors view of what it is your website visitors are doing when they're coming to your website. What keywords did they use to find you? How long did they stay on your website? How many pages did they look at? How many of them were new visitors? How many of them were repeat visitors? And what we're going to look at today is how many what they call bounced. And the bounce, what that means is these are people that spend 10 seconds or less on your website. So if you could relate to any of those three questions as, wow, you know, I spent all this money and time and energy on my website, but I'm not getting any traction. Well, here's maybe a reason why. If people aren't staying on your website, how can they possibly know how wonderful you are, what great trips or great services, or why they should consider choosing you? So I just want to show you some proof about this. We're going to look at two different travel websites. I'm not going to reveal who they are because I don't want to embarrass them. But actually the numbers aren't so bad. So you can see here at the upper right hand side, I've done a pretty current snapshot of the dates here this year. And what we're looking at is the overall dashboard. This shows overall traffic, and so you can see we've got how many visits in that period of time, how many page views. So their average page view for this particular website was 1.14 pages per visit. And the bounce rate, you know, almost 55% of the people, over half the people who came to the site left in 10 seconds or less. Now, you might go, oh my God, that's terrible. Well, here's what's even more amazing. That's actually a pretty good bounce rate. I've seen, and I'm actually going to show you, worse, and it gets much worse, where people have bounce rates of 75, 80%. And here's the other thing that's pretty good on this particular website. Average time on site, 3 minutes and 51 seconds. You might say, wow, you know, how can they discover how wonderful my trips or my service or destination is in 4 minutes? Well, the reality is that's average. Some people spend a lot less and some people spend a lot more, but that's pretty good. I'm going to show you why. And it's almost 65% new visits, and then it shows you where the traffic's coming from, and then a geographic thing. So Google Analytics is awesome. You need to get this so that when you start in putting in place some of these awesome tips that I'm going to give you over the next three videos here in this, is you can start seeing the improvement yourself. So let's look at another one. Actually, I did it ass backwards. I was thinking this was one of the tour companies. This is my site, and this is not. I did not plan this, folks. Travel Business Success. I want you to see this. Travel Business Success. So we just looked at my site. So no wonder I was thinking this was pretty good. So I want to first and foremost thank you. It's you that made these a time on site of almost 4 minutes. It's you that gave me a bounce rate of less than 55%. That's awesome. You can do better. Stay longer, visit more, refer more. Thank you. So there's my little plug for my site. But that was ass backwards thing. Let's now go look at some travel. Actually, these are people who are in the tour business. They have tours in the United States. Let's look at that. So here's the same period of time. So this is tour company number 1, 3,403 visits. Average page view 1.43. That's pretty decent. Look, bounce rate now not 55%. We're looking at almost 79%. And then look at this, 1.21, 1 minute 21 seconds average time on site. So we're talking, maybe almost 300% less time on the site. 250% less than my site. So, and the bounce rate is, gosh, let me see. I shouldn't do math live, but we're talking a substantial difference. We're talking a 50% worse bounce rate than mine. So, can you start to see that? You know, if you've got lower bounce rate, higher time on site, and more pages, that you have actually a better chance of convincing and compelling people that you're a great source. Let's look at number 2 here. Here is another company, same time period, because I wanted to be real consistent about this, is that this particular site, look, they've had, 11,400 visits. So these guys are definitely getting more visit. Look, now this is pretty good. Almost three pages per visitor. That is awesome. That is better, way better than average. And look at this. Their bounce rate is also, this is below 50%, which is awesome. These guys are doing great. And it's no wonder that their business is doing well. Look at this, almost 3 minutes average time on site. So and these two companies are actually in the same exact market niche. And you can compare them side by side and see the radical difference. And even though one gets a lot more traffic, it's the percent, what's the bounce rate, how much time are they in the site, and how many pages did they view. To me, that is more important. The traffic part is an illusion. It's much more important for you to get a website that is what they call sticky, meaning that people like the content. They feel compelled and enrolled to stick around longer to read your content. I'm going to show you how to increase traffic and the right type of traffic, but what's more important is to have a website that sells, that compels and enrolls people. So, but here's an interesting thing. I don't know if you've been seeing this. 81% of the people that are visiting this site are brand new visitors. So that's exciting. But at the same time, you want to have a greater percentage repeat visitors, because if people are just coming, one time and not coming back, that's not so good. Because a lot of us sell pretty epic trips to epic destinations, and the ideal scenario is that you have content, either static or new content that you're adding. Like I do, I'm always adding new videos and trainings and stuff like this, so that you come back. So you keep looking deeper, you keep looking greater at what it is they're offering, and the same holds true for you. So let's look at why this is important, and more importantly, what you can do about it. So if your bounce rate is high and your page views is low, and your average time on site, I've seen them way less than a minute, is poor. Let's look at what you can do on that. Okay, so we looked at the first challenge with effectively marketing online, is that people are time challenged and they're not spending much time on your site. They're not looking at a lot of pages. And so when they do get to your site, the next big thing is that you must, to convert strangers into friends and to increase your sales, increase your prospects, increase your rivals, you must have a site that passes what I call the 7-second rules. That in 7 seconds, it's really clear what you do, where you do it, and it should be starting to provide some information that gives them a reason to want to look deeper. Why should they consider you? Are you what it is that they're looking for? I mean, let's face it, there's millions of choices online. There is no place on earth that people cannot go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at, we're going to use the 7-second rule for 4 different websites. And I want you to look very carefully, and in 7 seconds, can you answer those 3 questions? What do they do? Where do they do it? And why should I consider choosing them? And while you're thinking about it, is it clear on, is this deluxe? Is this a deluxe lodging, or is this camping? Is these large groups or these small groups? Do I provide my own food? Is this for kids? Is this super high-end or low-end? These are critical things that you must be addressing in seconds. And as you can see from the Google Analytics reports I just showed you, 50% or more of your people could easily be leaving in 10 seconds or less. And it's no wonder you're not selling more travel. So, okay, so let's look at the very first one. Okay, you ready here? Here it is. Okay. I'm going to scan down here for you. Okay, that was number 1. I'm going to come back and tell you what I searched for to find these. Okay, got that one? Here's number 2. Take a look at this. 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000. Okay, are you crystal clear what this particular company does? And I apologize in advance if these are your websites, but I'm going to help you. Okay, number 3. What is it they do? Where do they do it? What kind of trips do they offer? Is it crystal clear to me? Remember, I've got seconds. 3, 2, one, I'm gone. Okay, how about this one? Okay, this one's probably a little more clear. But where are they doing these? Where is this happening? I'm scanning down. Okay, I see some pretty pictures. That looks cool. Clearly, this is about fishing. But what kind of fishing? And where? And why shall I choose them? Okay, I'm gone. Now we're going to come back and I'm going to tell you what kind of search did I do to get these results. So the very first one was I did a trip. I remember people they have a zillion choices. So when they do a search and someone clicks on your ad, whether it's an organic ranking or a pay-per-click, which is getting really expensive, isn't it? People want to find what they're looking for. So this first one here, intrepidtravel.com, I did a search for San Diego tours. Do you see anything on here that tells me, wow, I found what I was looking for? I don't. I'm scanning. Oh, I didn't find what I'm looking for. I'm out of here. Second one, number 2, I did a search for Alaska adventure travel. Okay, so this is gate1travel.com. Okay, all right. Well, I see United States and Canada. Well, that's Alaska's in there, but gee, well, wow, they're all over the place. And okay, if I know anything about Alaska, I would say, oh, I recognize Mount McKinley there. Okay, that might help. But okay, North American escorted tours, and here's something about Alaska. Oh, Vegas, Canada, Anchorage, Canada, West Coast, Hawaii. This is not Alaska Adventure Travel. These guys aren't Alaska Adventure Travel. I'm out of here. So, next one. I did a search for French travel agents. Okay, travel agents. We love them. We use them. And people are equally time challenged. They want to know exactly what they're looking. They want to find what they're looking for, and they want to find it fast. Or what are they going to do? They're out of here. So, look at this. Do you see anything about French travel agents here? Or anybody specializing in? I have no idea what this is, but it looks like fun. Okay, I'm still autumn. This Fabian, San Francisco. What is this? Where's the travel agent? Where's my French travel agent expert? I'm gone. Last one. Okay, this one was probably a little bit more clear. Who got this? Who got what I was looking for, but probably not what I searched for. You might have seen, okay, these guys are a little bit better. It's kind of hidden. Nelson Fly Fishing Lodge and Guide in South Island, New Zealand. Okay, Stonefly Lodge. Anybody? And wow. Okay, there's if fishing. There was a fly fishing thing. Cool. But here's the interesting thing. I did a search for Australian Fishing Lodge, and I apologize to Stonefly Lodge in New Zealand. This was their pay-per-click ad. That's probably costing them a few bucks a click. So I apologize in advance. I'm going to save you a bunch of money. You need to modify your keywords that you're pursuing in your pay-per-click because I just cost you $3. But I'm giving you a $1,000 tip. Go review your keyword phrases and do not have something as generic as fishing lodge in there. You want to make sure it says Australian Fishing Lodge or Australian fly fishing. I've just saved you not only $1,000 a month probably, but also you're going to get much more qualified clients. So once again, if I was in search for, I knew I was going to Australia and I knew I wanted to fishing, and this came up and they said, well, this looks pretty cool, but this is not Australia. Once again, I am out of here. So the important thing that I want you to realize is that people are super time challenged, and they want to make sure when they arrive on a page, whether it's your index page, which is where most people are landing on, or an interior page, they want to find what it is they're looking for. They want to know what it is you do, where you do it, and they want to have something what I call descriptive text. They want to see really quickly some of the elements that help define and qualify the type of trip that they're looking for. If I'm making millions of dollars, chances are I might want to have a 5-star fishing lodge with a private guide and on the best rivers in the world. If I'm a newlywed couple and I'm going to France, money might be kind of tight, and I might be looking for someone that said, a budget to 5-star trip planning. We're the French experts. If I'm looking for Alaska adventure travel, man, when I arrive up on that page, it better say in big, bold, tell me in 2 seconds, you've arrived at the right place. Alaska adventure travel specialists. And small group trips, lodge to camping. We specialize in families. Start giving me some information that fills in the gaps, that helps me qualify myself, so that I want to dig deeper. So if someone's looking for a small group trip that's adventure travel, and I've got a family, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Wow, maybe these people have some of the things that I seek. And so imagine for a moment what is happening on your website that may not be as clear as can be, that is not telling people what you do, where, or why. Imagine are you starting to see the connection between, wow, I'm not selling as much as online as I would like. And by the way, folks, this principle and proven strategy works in every piece of marketing message and investment you make. Doesn't matter if it's a trade show, advertising, anything that you do, something you put on your Facebook page. It all's the same, is that you need to be able to give people what they want to know. What's in it for me? Is this what I'm looking for? And you've got 7 seconds or less to do it. Otherwise, they're gone. So can you start to see this might be one of the reasons why that you're struggling, why you're not getting the inquiries? It's not about how great of trips that you run. If people don't stay engaged in your marketing message a little bit longer, they're never going to find out what great trips you run, or what great lodge you have, or what great service you have. And guess what, folks? If you're looking to work with the travel trade, whether it's a travel agent, a tour operator, or a lodging, and you need to convince them you're a good choice, how important, let's imagine it was you, and you're considering using a African tour company, and you're going to bring all your clients over to them. How important is it to you that you know that these people are on the ball, they're experienced, they provide exactly what you're looking for? It's really important. You're not going to send your clients to someone that you don't have total faith in, that you don't trust. So everything I'm telling you, if you're looking to work with the travel trade, it's 10 times more important. So in the next episode of this special 3-part series, to help you increase your inquiries, increase your sales, increase your arrivals, while lowering your marketing costs, and I'm talking about doubling, all of this is not unusual. And I'm going to show you some people who have done this in tough economic times, is not unusual. So in the next episode, I'm going to look at my notes for a second. We're going to look at the 3 core drivers that influence a travel consumer. What gets them to start considering making a purchase with you, number 1. Number 2, we're going to look at what is social proof and why it is absolutely critical that you have it in every bit of marketing message, especially on your website. Otherwise, people are just gone. They're not going to think you're a good choice, and they're just going to leave. And 3, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a special event I've got coming up here that's going to give you some awesome tools, save you a bunch of money, and start connecting you with other tourism professionals who are just like you, who are working on building their business at different levels. And it's so cool to be able to network with other people and have them help you elevate your marketing, elevate your message, so that everybody wins. So what I really would appreciate from you is, so you're probably thinking, wow, Tim, I've got a bunch of questions. I'm not sure about this or that. I want you to think about your marketing message. I want you to think specifically about how you're marketing online. And I want you to come up with your top 2 or 3 questions. And down below this video, either in the comment box, or if I get a Facebook comment page posted on here, I want you to write your top question that you have, or if you've liked this, if this has been helpful for you, I would really appreciate it if you could make a comment. Let me know, and especially through the Facebook, that you've enjoyed it and what it was that you found useful. What was the aha moment, or what was it that you think someone else that's a current or future travel professional would benefit from? We're all in this together. I put this out so not only to help you, but the thousands and thousands and thousands of other small to medium-sized independent tourism professionals around the globe who are just like you, who are just like my brother Kevin and I, who are just trying to pursue our travel dream. And the more that we help each other out, the better we'll all do. Tourism is not going anywhere. It's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But if you're struggling with your marketing, if you're struggling with your dream, it's because you're doing the same old thing and you're not tapping into the proven elements that turn strangers into friends and friends into customers. And that's exactly what I'm going to give you in the next series. But I needed to set the stage so you understood the importance of why we're doing this. So I appreciate it. Also, before we close, thanks so much for, if you could please like this, tweet it, share it, Google +1 it, get it out there, because my commitment is to, why I do what I do is to inspire, guide, and connect tourism professionals to realize their dream. That's what I am passionate about, and I have this vision of helping 100,000 global travel professionals double or more their business and start really realizing that dream that they pursued and that you're after. So thanks for sharing this. Thanks for putting your question and your comments down below. And look for another video here in just a few days. And we're going to get into some of those key things that you must have in your marketing message to take it to the next level and beyond. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.